Pete Wyden, your host of the Epic Eco Designer and Ecopreneur. We are evolving as always, and I hope you are too. You can evolve with us. So today I'm going to be sharing my personal truth about money. I would not expect you to automatically have the same views as me, nor would I necessarily want you to, because I believe diversity is key to our growth and key to productive, great conversations that we can have, and I want to bring more of that into this group. So I'm really excited to be sharing my truth with you, and I want to hear yours as well. So today we're going to talk about why a lot of people think that earning money somehow needs to be at the expense of someone else, that we're somehow taking away from others to gain ourselves, and how that's actually a fallacy. And the inner mindset that type of thinking reveals, and how to release yourself from it, because a lot of us, including myself, deal with it or have dealt with it in the past. You can kind of see this blood red amaranth. There we go. I think it'll show up now. Beautiful amaranth. I'm at my new friend Robert's place. We're about to leave for the dance tour we're taking of the southwestern U.S. 30 people on a coach bus, dancing around national parks and exposing other everyday people to the power of movement and expression through movement. Super stoked. But the final piece here related to money is creating real belief in the chain of reactions that can lead to your inevitable business success, and the openness that is required to be successful as an entrepreneur, the creativity, the flexibility. So I'll start first with the first point, which is that there are a lot of people, especially people who mean well in the world, who believe that, and this might be something that you were brought up with your family, or it might be from the culture you were brought up in, might be various experiences that you've had where you hired somebody that you weren't happy with and it wasn't a good experience. But a lot of people think that in order to gain money yourself, it needs to be at the expense of someone else. And I'll jump right into the second point, because the reason that that's false is because it comes from a mindset that there's not enough to go around. Yeah, I mean, you could be taking money from people and not giving them what you said, then you'd be doing something that's not in integrity. But if you're living in integrity and you're providing a valuable service, there's no reason why you should feel like somebody else is at a loss because they're paying you. They should be at a gain of more than what they paid you, because the value of what you're selling should always be higher than what you're charging for it. You know, I talk a lot about raising your rates and making sales and stuff, but the fact of the matter is, guys, when I'm starting my service, I just started offering a new service as part of my design work where I do botanical surveys for people's larger acreage properties, like a big farm. I tell them the plants that are there, the potential edible mushrooms they might find, the edible medicinal uses of the plants, the habitat type, how to manage that habitat briefly, and it's this overview for them of what's there and how to potentially work with it. And I over-deliver so hard on that because I want to develop that service to be as valuable as possible for people so that I don't even have to market it. And to think that in order to have somebody pay you for your service, that they are then missing out on something, you know, it's really about seeing the deeper value and being able to communicate that value of the service that you provide. This might actually be a shorter video because it's really hot in the sun. I'm going to move over here so I can keep talking to you guys without burning up. I'm very pasty. Alright. So, ooh, lots of shadows. Get the real time figuring out of the video. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me, everybody. We're in this little permaculture-y landscape. This is only one way that permaculture could look, by the way. It could look like a formal garden, but be full of edible plants, edible and native plants. You never know. So creating real belief in the chain of reactions that lead to your inevitable business success. How many times I have experienced opening up my mind and my personal energy and then actions to opportunities around me. There was a time in my business I can remember very clearly where I didn't have any jobs signed on. and I had like $200 in my bank account. And I think a lot of people probably at that point would have said, shit, I need to go get a job, or I need to start driving for Uber or something. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's what you really want to be doing. But if it's not what you really want to be doing with your life and with your business, how is that growing your business? Maybe it helps you reinvest, but usually that type of thinking leads you to more and more thinking of just scrounging to get by, just trying to make ends meet rather than really growing. And in that situation, I chose to grow. I chose to do the inner work, some mindfulness practices, some talks with other people who I knew could help me, such as the mentor who I hired to help me with my business. And I opened myself up to the opportunities all around me. And then within a week or two, I had signed on 4 design jobs, various kinds, which brought in, I think I signed on $5,000 worth of work for the next month. And I was totally fine financially. So this really comes down to also how well you're building your relationships and how clearly you're building your relationships. Do people know who you are and what you do, and are you able to get to know them in ways so that you can understand if maybe they're just a friend, maybe they're a friend who's really interested in what you do and might hire you in the future. Maybe there's someone who just wants to hire you right off the bat. And knowing how kind of ripe your opportunities are that are in front of you at any given time. So creating belief in the fact that you might not have work coming in today or at this moment, but in 10 minutes someone could call, or you could call someone, or you could go out and meet someone at a park who asks what you do, and you tell them and they're like, wow, what? It's about putting yourself in the situations and honestly in the energy of opportunity, of the universe unfolding for your benefit so that you can benefit it in return. It's all about that exchange, cause and effect. So, if you're not feeling open right now, what can you do to help yourself feel free, feel liberated, feel open and excited about what you do? Maybe it's picking up a book, maybe it's getting out in the garden in the backyard, calling your friend who's also a designer and seeing what they're up to, what's worked for them. There's always options available to you, especially this day and age. There's so much connection that we can create very, very quickly with the technology and the opportunities around us. So leave a comment below. Let me know what you're going to do to bring in more opportunity today, to release any ideas of scarcity, of people somehow being at a loss by hiring you for your services. And I would love to know if there's anything coming up for you right now that's been an issue that's keeping you from being successful. Leave a comment below or send me a personal message. I would love to talk about it. Let's hash things out. That's why I'm here. That's why the Epic Eco Designer, Epic Ecopreneur group exists. I'm so excited to continue the conversation with you guys. And if you are interested in the Focus Growth program that I'm offering starting November 4th to grow your business and find clients, make consistent sales, leave me a personal message or comment eco below and we can get on a free 15-minute call. Have a beautiful week. I'm so excited. I'm going to head to the library right now in Santa Cruz, and then we head out on our dance tour. You'll see some updates from me this week about the tour. Bye.